The most dangerous thing Michael Corleone ever learned was not murder. It was administration. People think Michael became a monster when he shot two men inside a restaurant. They are wrong. By then, the transformation was already complete. The real weapon was forged years earlier, on military ships crossing the Pacific, inside the machinery of war. Long before Michael inherited a criminal empire, he had already learned how modern institutions function. War teaches a brutal lesson. Individual lives matter emotionally, but organizations survive mathematically. Soldiers become numbers. Losses become logistics. Death becomes paperwork. And Michael learned exceptionally well. That is why he never truly resembled his father. Vito Corleone built relationships. Michael built systems. Vito ruled through loyalty. Michael ruled through structure. Vito understood people. Michael understood control. When he joined the Marines against his father's wishes, he believed he was escaping the family. In reality, he was preparing to become its final evolution. The war ended, but the mindset remained. The calm, the emotional distance, the ability to separate decisions from feelings, the ability to sacrifice individuals for larger objectives. Most people call this discipline. Psychologists call it adaptation. History often calls it tragedy. Then came Sicily. Popular memory treats Sicily as a love story, a temporary exile, a romantic chapter. The novel suggests something darker. Sicily was not healing. It was isolation, the final stage of transformation. For the first time in his life, Michael existed outside ordinary society. No future, no identity, no purpose beyond survival. Then he met Apollonia. For a brief moment, the machinery stopped. The soldier disappeared. The sun returned. The future seemed possible. Then the car exploded, and something irreversible happened. People say Michael lost his wife. That is true, but it is not the most important loss. What actually died was his remaining capacity for emotional vulnerability. When he returned to America, he did not return as a grieving husband. He returned as a man who had concluded that attachment creates weakness. Kay became something different. Not love, not comfort, not partnership. A symbol, a carefully constructed image of normal American life. The future Don was already learning to use people the way institutions use people. As functions, as assets, as components. And somewhere between the Pacific Ocean and the mountains of Sicily, Michael Corleone quietly became a ghost. A ghost preparing to build an empire. Most criminal leaders are driven by anger. Michael Corleone was driven by efficiency. That difference changed everything. The famous executions that secured his power are often remembered as revenge. They were not. Revenge is emotional. Michael's actions were administrative. He approached organized crime the same way a corporate executive approaches restructuring. Identify instability. Remove instability. Repeat. The baptism sequence reveals his true psychology. While others saw enemies, Michael saw variables. Variables can be managed. Variables can be eliminated. Variables can be replaced. By the time he became head of the family, the Corleone organization was no longer operating like a traditional mafia family. It was becoming something much larger. A private state. Its own intelligence network. Its own enforcement structure. Its own economy. Its own legal system. Its own military capability. Tom Hagen was no longer simply a friend. He became administration. Neri became enforcement. Copper regimes became management. The family became an institution. And Michael became its central processor. The frightening part is how little emotion remained. Unlike Sonny, unlike Fredo, unlike even Vito, Michael rarely acted from impulse. He preferred calculation, patience, distance. Every relationship became strategic. Every conversation became evaluation. Every friendship became utility. Even trust itself became transactional. The ultimate example was Fredo. People often describe Fredo's fate as cruelty. The reality is more disturbing. Michael did not remove Fredo because he hated him. He removed Fredo because the system could not tolerate unpredictability. That is how institutions think. That is how bureaucracies think. That is how empires think. The brother was no longer a brother. He had become a security risk. And once a human being becomes a category instead of a person, the outcome is usually inevitable. The transformation was complete. Michael Corleone had accomplished something extraordinary. He had successfully converted a family into a machine. The problem was that machines do not love. Machines only function. Michael spent his entire life claiming that everything was done for the family. Every lie, every sacrifice, every betrayal, every death. The phrase became his justification, his shield, his religion. And yet the deeper he pursued control, the more completely the family collapsed around him. This is the central paradox of Michael Corleone. The protector became the destroyer. The guardian became the threat. The father became the dictator. Fear slowly replaced trust. Distance replaced intimacy. Authority replaced love. His children learned to fear him. His marriage became a battlefield. His home became a fortress. And every fortress eventually becomes a prison. The Lake Tahoe estate perfectly symbolizes his psychology. Massive, secure, beautiful, and emotionally dead. The larger the walls became, the smaller his world became. Power isolated him from danger. It also isolated him from humanity. By the end, Michael possessed everything he once believed would bring security: influence, wealth, control, authority. Yet he existed in almost complete emotional solitude. The empire survived. The man did not. That is why his ending feels so haunting. Not because he is defeated. Not because he is punished. Not because he is killed. Because he survives. An old man sitting alone. The war is finished. The enemy's gone. The empire intact. Nothing left to conquer. Nothing left to protect. Nothing left to control. Only silence. In the end, Michael Corleone achieved total victory and discovered that victory was empty. He spent his life defeating every external threat, only to realize that the final enemy had always been inside him. The empire remained. The family did not. And the last witness to his downfall was not a rival, not a judge, not a soldier, only a stray dog wandering through a forgotten Sicilian courtyard. Michael Corleone conquered everyone, except loneliness.